It's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes You take some time to say goodnight. You close your eyes to dream next thing tomorrow's here.
It's a brand new day, never hold on to hate. Cause you was placed here to be great. Please take your place. All queens got a seat at my table. Cause without y'all, then the man ain't able. Melanated queen, connected to the universe. And so I gotta thank my mom for my birth. If hate is the curse, then love is the remedy. So I send you love no matter creed or identity. Until infinity, look at you like you kin to me. Even when we disagree, yo, you still kin to me. In other words, I can't bring you no trouble, can't bring you no beef, don't wanna see you deceased. Now if I'm coming at you, I'm coming with a business plan. Cause every day I'm on some, yo, let's get this money, man. Yeah, and that's my real plans. I rest my head at night, I wake up, I got another plan.
Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes Take some time to say goodnight. You close your eyes to dream next thing tomorrow's here.
It's a lot of high rappers tell me why we don't get money together, but we'll kill each other over whatever. Running down the freeway, we gonna own down. If Black Lives Matter, why we gonna own down? That's why they laugh and they think that we clowns. They hear what we say, but see how we get down. We gotta change that now, right now to be exact. Cause hurting that man's moms is not where it's at now. Old school, new school, need to learn, yo. They put us in groups so they can make more dough. The young versus the old versus the young. Black versus white, you see the pattern, right? No unity, keep them all on some gutter-ish. This way they don't prosper and get rich. Yo, can't you see it's a trick? Just open your third eye and you'll see the full view of it. Now yo, what if the powers that be know that the real power lies within the people? That's us. And what if they using things like crayon colors, black and white, to separate the people? Hey, yo, you gotta wake up. Don't let them fool y'all. Spread love.
Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes You take some time to say goodnight. You close your eyes to dream next thing tomorrow's. Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes You take some time to say goodnight. You close your eyes to dream next thing tomorrow's here again. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. We're real strong people. We can do anything. We can't be worried about what they say. My brother, my sister, just believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe in your health. Believe in yourself. Believe in your talk. Believe in your walk. Believe in yourself. Believe in your skin. Believe in your health. Believe in yourself. Believe in your talk.
All right, we are in here. Y'all know what to do. You know what time it is. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Oh, man. Man. It has been one of those mornings already. Y'all know it's about to go down here in Georgia. But I appreciate y'all being patient with me this morning. All right, I see everybody's in here. We're good to go. Let me say what's up to the people. Ooh. And we looking all crispy and clean on the screen. Here we go. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE Beats of ClassEbeats.com. Today, we are going to actually be reviewing some of the trial that went on yesterday afternoon. Some of you might have seen that I crashed out yesterday. I could not take any more of Adrian Love. So I shut it down, sent y'all over to Cat Not Williams, and shout out to Cat Not Williams for continuing the great coverage yesterday afternoon. And there were some things that we missed by not covering yesterday afternoon. So we're going to get back into that today. There's going to be a lot going on here in Georgia over the next 48 hours because, as many of you may know, Tropical Storm or Hurricane Helene is on her way here, especially to the Fulton County area, which we're talking about in this trial. So everybody's getting prepared. Court is out today and tomorrow, but you know, the industry does not sleep. So there's going to be a lot we're going to be able to cover with the music industry, from Diddy to even the Young Dolph trial that's going on, because Tennessee has not shut down yet. So we're going to be covering that later on this afternoon and tomorrow. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into it and cover everything that went on yesterday afternoon. Let me say what's up to the people though. Hold on now. Let me see who we got in here. We got everybody in here. Good morning and salute. And thank you for your service to John. I see you in here. We got Young Dreads is in the building. Gwen, The World's End, Comic, Sean, my guy. We've got Carlene, new timer in the building. Good morning. We've got Mel is up in here. Good to see you. SSG, Stacy, Philippa. We got Elizabeth Wright. Shout out to Elizabeth Wright. Roxana's in here. Shout out to Randall King, Asika. We've got Nicholas. Kristen Vasquez is in the building. All right, Kristen. Rebecca is in here. We've got Zayden, Rashida, Tanya, Jennifer. Focused is in here. Chris, is that right? Oh, okay. Christian is in here. Shout out to Christian. We've got Just Peachy. I wonder if Just Peachy is from Georgia. Are you in Georgia, Just Peachy? 804 Productions is in the building. Valencia, Dennis, Kimberly, Mr. Spiffy. My guy is up in here. Shout out to Tiffany. Oh my gosh, we got everybody in here. Cordray, Zoe is in the building as well. Shout out to Zoe. We've got Rose, Linfinity. I love that one. Tracy is in here. Kelly's in here. Speaking of Kells, I saw Kel Bell was in the building too, one of our amazing resident attorneys. We've got Our Hearts with Arts is up in the building. The Legend, Private User, Rodney. Oh man, we got everybody up in here. Floyd, The Real Deal, Neil is in the building too. Sheesh. Coco's in here. All right, I know I missed some of y'all. We've got Jamila is in the building. Shout out to Freddie Harris. Kyrese is up in here. KL is in the building. We got Daniel, Miss Simmons, Big Baby Jane, my guy Rodney, Yvonne. Oh man, Wave, Lori is up in here. I see you, Jenny and Nigel. Okay. Oh, and shout out to Angie too. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm not gonna hold y'all up anymore. We've just got a couple hours left at the end of this trial. Some of it was a little bit boring, and you know, a lot of it was probably breaks. So shout out to everybody who's in here. If you could, before we get started, just do me a quick favor. Make sure you like the video on your way in. Not only are likes free, but it does let the YouTube algorithm know you guys are enjoying the show. It shares it with more people. And again, it's free. And it really does help the show continue to grow. So if y'all could do that. Also, thank you to everybody who sends in super chats. I will be reading super chats throughout the show as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. And let me know how the sound is, because I know we always have issues with the sound from court. So let me see if I can get ahead of this and make sure we're good. The sound should be good. Oh, y'all said some of y'all watched the rest of the trial yesterday. A lot of objections. I would not be surprised. Lauren is in here too. Good morning, Lauren. We got her is up in here. Athena's in the building. Good morning, Athena. Oh, we got Miss Love back. Oh, no. I think she's only going to be up here for a little while, though, so say a prayer. We'll say a prayer. Hopefully we can make it through this.
When you told the police...
Oh, spoilers are fine. Y'all are good.
...that Shannon and Yak told you, I just caught that in nut down bad, did you get that from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
A lot.
Is that something now you're saying you made up entirely?
I already told y'all. Shannon, nobody ain't told me nothing.
Well, that's why I asked. Did you get it from Copeland, Garlington?
I said nobody ain't told me nothing.
And when you told the police that Shannon had a XB45, is that something you got from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
Nobody told me nothing.
Okay. So did you make that up too?
I don't know.
All right. And when you told the police that the 7.62 was Nard's gun, was that something you got from Copeland, as you're sitting here today testifying, is that something you got from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
I don't know.
All right.
It sounds like he's not gonna help Miss Love out at all. Yeah, and prayers go out to everybody who's gonna be affected by Helene too. Y'all stay safe out there. Yeah, y'all be safe.
When you told the police that Nard talked about the murder after Miami, is that something you got from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
Something I lied about.
Okay. When you told the police that after seeing Woody staying on the couch acting worried, Nard said that nigga Woody gon' fold, he gonna tell on us about that nut situation, is that something you got from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
So I lied.
Okay.
He's not gonna help you, love. We saw this all yesterday.
And
That
when
man
you told
is
the
in
police
pain. It's hard to watch.
that Thug asked them, do you remember talking about Thug acting normal on cross-examination with Thug's attorney?
What you mean?
Do you remember Mr. Steele asking you whether you testified that Thug was acting normal after?
When he had me that today?
Do you remember at any time him asking you that?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. When you told the police that Thug asked Shannon, Yak, and Nard why they killed Nut, did you get that from Copeland, Garlington, your prelim, or somewhere else?
I told you and them 1,000 times I lied. And I said it. I told them years ago I lied. So
Okay.
it ain't nothing new.
Okay, so would you tell the jury whether that was something you just made up out of the thin air or?
I don't remember. I just know I lied.
Okay. Now, is it only the things about people who are on trial now that you know for a fact you lied about?
What you mean? I ain't never said anything about nobody else.
When you talk about what you do know and what you can't remember, is it only the information that you gave about Thug, Yak, and Shannon that you know for a fact you lied about?
God's honest truth. I lied. Yeah.
Cause I lied. What you mean?
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
This
I
is
know
not
I
lying.
told y'all years ago that I lied. And you know that.
And so, Mr. Zachary, all I'm asking is,
And
in
I'm
that
telling you,
August,
I lied then. I told them back then I lied.
and in August 2015, all I'm asking is, today is your testimony that the only people you lied about are Thug, Shannon, and Yak.
No, I lied about whatever they asked me about.
So you didn't lie about Woody getting jumped 5 or 6 days before Nut got killed, did you?
Everybody knew you got jumped.
There's nothing new, Miss Love. The streets knew.
Did you lie when you told the police that you all believe that Woody shot up Lucci's studio on Metropolitan?
I don't know.
Did you lie when you told the police that Rock Crew and YSL were the same thing?
I don't know.
Sustained.
Come on, Miss Love, get it together. I don't know what she's even doing. Grasping for straws.
Do you remember Mr. Steele saying or asking you, isn't it true that no one ever confronted you in 2017 about the things you were saying in your proffer that were different than what you said in 2015? Do you remember that?
I remember him.
Object to the form of that question. Never even broached that topic.
Overruled.
Do you remember that?
I remember him saying something about the 2017 interview.
Do you remember him asking you, isn't it true that no one ever confronted you about things that you were saying different in 2017 than what you had said in 2015?
That may have been not you, but a different. It was covered in cross. I'm not sure who asked it.
Okay.
That was me.
Yeah.
My apologies to everyone. Do you remember Shannon's attorney telling you you never were confronted in 2017 about things you said differently than what you did in 2015? Do you remember that?
I think he said something like that.
And do you remember agreeing with him? Yeah, nobody ever confronted me about things I said different.
I think he said
Thank you, brother.
the officer or somebody was in there. I don't know.
I'm sorry, what
Then
now?
he asked me why the officer or somebody didn't confront me or something. I don't know. He said something like that.
Was Mr. Richardson your lawyer or your friend in that interview? That
No, he was not my lawyer.
he was there on your behalf?
I don't know how he got there.
Okay.
But it later came out that he wasn't my lawyer though.
Isn't it true
That's an interesting
that
statement.
you all were allowed to take breaks and that after at least one of those breaks, Detective Dennis came back and told you that reminded you that you had said a lot more about the murder than in 2015 than you were doing now in 2017?
I don't know.
Isn't it true that after that point, Detective Dennis asked you about what you had told him in 2015 about Duop and Nard?
I don't know.
Isn't it true that at that point you said you had heard that they were involved, that is, Duop and Nard were involved? You had heard that from Copeland, and then you said, I meant Shannon. Isn't that true?
I don't know.
He's not going to help you, lady.
Isn't it true that after you told them that Shannon came to the apartment after the murder and told you about the murder, they pressed you on exactly what Shannon said to you?
You say, is it true that he told me? You asked me, I don't understand that question.
Isn't it true that during the
understand.
2017 interview, when you told the police and people with the DA's office with Mr. Richardson present that Shannon came to the apartment after the murder and told you something about the murder, you were asked what exactly Shannon said to you, and you said, I don't want to talk about it?
It was a lie.
Okay.
I don't know. I still don't understand the question.
You were pressed on what exactly Shannon told you, in the 2017 interview?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. Isn't it true
How to Lose Your Witness 101 is what we're watching right now. All right, y'all get ready. Good morning, everybody who's just joining us, by the way.
that when you said you were not pressed or you were not confronted with differences in your story, that what you said about not being confronted wasn't exactly accurate? In other words, when you said something different, the police did ask you, wait a minute, what about this? You said it
I
differently over
don't
here.
remember. You would have had to
Okay.
show me for me to know. I don't remember.
Okay.
Basically,
But
he's not
I don't
helping
think
you, lady.
they confronted. Ricky had asked y'all 2 years ago, did y'all have a video he can see? Y'all told him no. Y'all told me it wasn't no interview, just transcripts.
Okay.
And I'm still constantly surprised at how much Miss Love lets her witnesses talk. You see a big difference between her and the defense. The defense tries to keep things on point unless they know that the witness is going to go down the path that they want them to go down. Miss Love just lets these guys up here say anything. Like, yeah, y'all pressured me. And you said you were going to do this and they did that. And I wasn't feeling this. And Miss Love's just sitting there letting them talk. It's crazy. Yeah, this is a replay of court from yesterday.
And during those,
It's in the pinned comment.
during that 2017 interview, when you were looking at pictures of Shannon and Duop and Nard, isn't it true that you signed your name and wrote Shannon's and Nard's and Duop's on their pictures?
I don't remember, probably did.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you were asked about the Lil Wayne bus shooting on cross-examination, is it your testimony today that you remember events that happened that night?
I don't know. Like, y'all been asking me all these questions, like, I don't know.
He said that over and over.
Do you remember telling detectives in the 2017 interview that people didn't need to get the gang's permission in order to carry out the Lil Wayne bus shooting?
What gang?
I don't remember it being said like that or something. I don't know.
If I had to guess, he probably said, you couldn't do this without permission. It sounds like she's twisting some words, which...
Do you remember
Isn't
being
surprising.
asked on cross-examination about the Infinity that you were in, that you rode inside with Copeland?
I remember y'all saying something about it. I remember somebody said something about it.
Do you remember, I believe it was Mr. Steele, if it was not, correct me if your memory is different. Do you remember Thug's lawyer asking you whether the information you got about that Infinity came only from Copeland?
Yes.
Do you remember today whether the information you got about that Infinity came only from Copeland?
Yes, I told us Woody told I never saw somebody else in the car, but Woody, he told me about the car.
Is there anything in particular about that that causes you to remember it as opposed to
I
other?
remember the car because I remember we wrecked the car.
And was it Woody who told you that Thug's manager rented it?
Yes. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't know. Woody said he thought it was rental car, so I don't remember. told him I never saw him in that car though. I told him I never saw nobody in the car but Woody.
Yeah, with this long weekend, Lil D's gonna be
You
feeling
told
good on
the
Monday.
jury earlier that after a certain point that Thug stopped associating with Woody. You said something like that on Cross. Do you remember that?
I think I said he stopped coming around all the negativity. Like it was so much going on. I think I said that.
Do you remember specifically talking about Woody and Thug not hanging around Woody?
Yes, cause I said he had a lot going on.
Do you remember when that was that you remember Thug stopped hanging around Woody?
I don't know.
Okay, generally speaking, would you say it was around May 2015?
I think Woody was already locked up, man. I don't know.
So does that mean it probably happened before that or after that?
I don't remember. I just know I
doesn't
think Woody
remember
had got
that.
locked up summertime, so I don't remember.
Do you know whether Woody actually talked to Thug about getting his bond paid in June 2015?
June, I was locked up, so I don't know.
Okay, you were asked about Thug and Woody's relationship. I'm just asking you if you know anything about.
June, I was locked up. So
Okay, so that's a no.
I was locked up. I mean,
When you're locked up, does that keep you from getting information
Yes.
about other people that are locked up?
yes.
So were you locked up federally?
No.
Were you locked up in Fulton County?
Yes.
So if you were locked up in Fulton County and Woody is locked up in Fulton County, do you all have the ability to talk to each other or do you not have access?
I was on different floor.
Yeah, it
Okay.
depends on where you are. Come on, lady.
Does being on a different floor keep you from having access to other people or talking to other people in the jail?
Yes.
Okay.
He's asking questions that literally everyone knows. Even if you've never been in jail, everyone knows that just because you're in the same jail, you cannot see someone for years. And then you change floors, you change blocks, and it's a whole different set of people. Come on, y'all watch the shows.
Did you do you not remember getting speaking with Sledge from inside the jail or Monkton?
I don't know what he would say to implicate himself.
Why?
Man, I don't think if I talked to him and he was on the street, I don't even think I talked to him. What time are you talking about?
While you were in the jail and he was in the jail.
Probably went to court, yeah.
Okay. And what about Garlington? You remember getting
They could be on the
communication
same
from
floor.
Garlington
Yeah,
while
that's
you all were
correct.
both in jail?
He and Garlington and Sledge was on the case together. We go to court together.
Okay.
60 days in. That's what I was thinking of, Dennis. Thank you.
Are they the only people that you talked to while you were in the jail that were in the jail with you?
I don't remember. Probably people in my dorm, I don't remember.
All right. What did you say?
People in the dorm, probably.
Okay. You were asked on cross-examination about a picture of Shannon taken the days or taken sometime before January 10th, 2015. Do you remember Mr. Steele asking you about it?
Sustained.
It's a weird question.
Do you remember being shown a photograph of Shannon standing in front of a window?
Yeah, I remember that picture. I remember that picture.
And do you have any independent knowledge of when or if that was placed on any social media sites?
So, yeah, I'm saying, Sean.
I think I remember. I think I took that picture. I was
Okay.
thinking about it.
Just the
more.
picture, though.
When I saw it, I remember the picture for some.
Did you post that on your social media site?
No.
Okay.
I think the problem with Miss Love is when the relief of the defense is when they come up to the stand or when they come up to the podium and they're talking with the defendants. We can see a clear picture they're trying to paint and understand where they're moving. It's not even necessarily that these witnesses don't want to cooperate with Miss Love. It's that she's taking a transcript and just reading and asking questions off of that. And the transcript itself is all over the place. So she's trying to tell the story and paint a picture, and it just ends up being so confusing because she doesn't have a proper line of questioning. And then he makes a point and he'll say something like, yeah, I think I remember I was wearing blue jeans that day. She said, oh, why were you wearing blue jeans? It's like, Ms. Love, you don't have to try and sound smart. Just tell the story, please. Because again, we're looking at this as a juror. I don't know where she's trying to go with this at all. Like, why are we asking him about wearing blue jeans?
Now, when you were asked on cross-examination about Antonio Sledge being drunk and Garlington being high,
I believe it,
and you being high on April 28th, 2015, were you telling the jury everything that you remembered about that night when you spoke with Shannon's attorney on cross-examination?
This is what I'm saying, and I promise y'all, I'm gonna let it go. Listen
Attorney
to this, listen to
that
this question.
Were you telling the jury everything that you remembered about that night when you spoke with Shannon's attorney on cross-examination?
Did I what?
Is that all that you remember about that night on April 28th as you sit here today? April 28th, 2015, that Monktoon was drunk.
Your Honor, I was going to let it go, but I'm going to object to the misstatement of the testimony. His testimony was not that Mr.
Sustained.
Do you remember anything else about the night of April 28th that Mr. Shart asked you about on cross-examination regarding Sledge being drunk?
Again.
I think I told him I don't know. I don't remember. I think I told him I was high myself, so I couldn't really tell.
And what does that type of high do to your ability to remember?
Xanax.
Okay. What does that do for you and for your ability to remember?
A lot. I might be on 3-4 at a time.
And does that cause you to forget things?
Yes.
Okay. So if you remembered that it was only you, Sledge, and Garlington, at what point did the high wear off to allow you to remember that?
Because I remember who I got in the car with.
Okay. Do you know what Trontavia Stevens was doing during that time?
No.
Okay. You were asked whether you went to Arrowhead Pond with Copeland and Sledge. Do you remember that?
I remember telling him I don't remember if Sledge was with us.
Okay.
She's already tried to impeach. And I don't know. Y'all have to tell me if you think it's working.
Do you remember testifying on cross-examination that you wanted to convince Gaither and Dennis that you were telling the truth so that you could get out of jail?
I remember. I don't remember. I told her, asked me all these questions. I don't remember.
Do you remember when you were shown a clip of Gaither coming into the room saying, y'all been calling me and now I'm here? You remember that? Okay. Now, do you remember being asked whether you wanted to meet with Gaither so that you could get out of jail?
I remember me saying I ain't called them. I remember saying that.
Okay. Do you remember saying you wanted to clear Sledge of the shooting?
I thought that was what I was doing, but I was told you I was young.
That's what he said.
All right.
Thank you, Doggy.
Did you lie when you told the police that the phone number they showed you was not yours?
Oh, no.
You remember when you were asked on cross-examination whether you lied when you said you weren't involved in the April 28th shooting?
Who?
You remember when you said on cross that when you first sat down, you said, I wasn't involved. I ain't have nothing to do with that shooting.
I remember saying I lied. I don't understand what you're saying. You gotta ask it again.
Okay.
This is
You
really
remember
bad
saying you
at asking
lied
questions.
in the August 5th, 2015 interview. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you lie when you told them or confirmed for them Demikion's phone number?
Your Honor, outside the scope of cross.
Sustained.
Did you lie when you told them that the phone number they had was not yours?
Outside the scope of cross.
Sustained.
Do you remember when you told them when you first sat down, you were making stuff up as you were going on? Do you remember saying that on cross?
Yeah.
At what point did that change, if at all?
What you mean, did it change?
Well, you said at first I was making stuff up as I was
I
going
still was
on.
making stuff up.
Okay, so are you saying that you made stuff up throughout the whole interview on August 5th, 2015?
Made stuff up and said stuff that I had already heard. I
He
told y'all
said
that.
this already. No court today. No. Court will be back on Monday.
And when you said that you wanted to take the guns out of your hand and put them in someone else's hand, is that what you were trying to do throughout the August 5th interview? Just take guns out of your hand?
What?
Do you remember saying on cross?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Okay.
We've been, shout out to Kel Bell, one of our amazing resident attorneys. We've been asking this question for the past months, several months. Why does she think it helps to highlight that your key witness is a liar? I have no idea. And I mean, maybe if she was good at it and she was able to show the jury a clear point of, hey, he's a liar and this is the reason that he was lying. He's lying to protect his friends. Okay, fine. We can do that, right? And then you're going to say he's lying now, just like she said with Woody. He's lying now to protect his friends from what he said in the past. But she's not painting that picture again. I mean, for this jury to be able to get that, they really have to sit here and be able to watch what we're doing, to pause it, to rewind, to go back. They're just sitting there taking notes, listening to this lady say her witness is a liar. And they even tried this with Lil Woody. I think probably a little bit more successfully, in my opinion. I think it's mainly because Hilton was up there asking some better questions, the more pointed questions, but Love is just a mess. So I'm with you, Kel Bell. It's hard to listen to. And if I'm on the jury, I would have given up by lunchtime at this point. No, she needs to take that lab coat and go get in the lab. Work on her redirect or something. Dang.
By the time that you got to the
This is why she made me rage quit
2017
yesterday.
interview,
See, this is another start to a bad question.
Was your goal in that interview the same thing as your goal was in the 2015 interview?
What was my goal? Was it my goal?
This is,
Right.
All right, I'm going to keep interrupting her because it's just impossible. Here we go.
By the time that you got to the 2017 interview.
Okay, 2017 interview.
Was your goal in that interview the same thing as your goal was in the 2015 interview?
Okay. What? Mr. Sledge, when you went to the police and you talked to them, what was your goal in that interview in 2015? Well, my goal was to say whatever I needed to say to get out of there. Okay, cool. In the 2017 interview with the police, did you have that same goal? Yeah, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to say what I needed to say. I said she's taking that and combining it all into one question. I'm not a lawyer.
What was my goal? Was it my goal?
Right.
I don't remember.
Do you remember whether you went into the 2017 interview with the intent to tell stories on
I
people?
don't remember.
Well, do you
Did I
remember?
tell stories?
Uh-huh.
I told stories, yes.
I mean,
Lies.
yeah, Miss Hilton laid out the whole blueprint for her. I got to keep going back to this. Miss Hilton laid out the whole blueprint of how you need to question this type of witness. And to show that he was just trying. And I thought Hilton did it somewhat of a better job. But man, this is.
All right. And was there any reason that you told for these particular lies that you claim you told? For what reason were you telling lies in 2017?
Because I had already told the lies before.
Okay. And so the lies you told
What's
in
your point, lady?
2017 were because you had already told them? Is that what you're saying?
Objection asked and answered.
You're not asking. Is that what you're saying?
What you mean? Like,
Why did you tell the lies you're now saying that you told in 2017?
because I lied. I don't know. I didn't know I lied. I don't get what you're saying. Like, I don't understand.
And the lies in 2015 that you
I
told,
feel you, brother.
did you tell them for any reason other than what you've already given to the jury?
What you mean?
The things that you said in the August 2015 interview that were not true. The reasons that you told them, even though they were not true. Are those reasons, have you told all of those reasons for telling those lies as you
I
put
don't
them
know, man.
to the
I
jury?
don't know.
Does anyone know what she's asking?
The things already given 2015
Get what you're saying. Like, I
And-
don't understand.
and the lies in 2015 that you told, did you tell them for any reason other than what you've already given to the jury?
What you mean?
The things that you said in the August 2015 interview that were not true.
Thank you, Angela.
The reasons that you told them, even though they were not true. Are those reasons, have you told all of those reasons for telling those lies as you
I
put
don't
them
know, man.
to the
I
jury?
don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
just one second.
Wow, this is bad. Y'all see why I rage quit yesterday? I couldn't do it. I had to take a breather. I mean, this is just those things that you told the jury were all those things that you said, and you know, with the when you were going to the and you saw the and
that you had you could do so.
oh, thank God.
All right, Mrs. Sharp, Mr. Weinstein.
Jesus.
All right.
Praise God.
Mr. Harvey has corrected me that I have reasons. Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
I didn't hear what you said before.
We got Mr. Weinstein up here. Show him how it's done, Mr. Weinstein.
Well, good
please.
afternoon. How are you doing?
Head.
Your head hurt? You're going to be able to answer my questions?
If I know him, yeah.
Can you lean forward just a little bit? Yeah, if you know them, that's all I'm asking, okay? So on redirect, Ms. Love asked you a lot of questions about the sources of your lies, okay? The lies you told back in 2015 and 2017. So let's get into that a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about the play that you testified to that you got from Garlington, okay? Remember the play?
I don't remember it.
That play you testified to that you got from Garlington, that was about the murder of Peanut, Donovan Thomas, right?
That's what, yeah.
Okay. And that play was something cooked up between Garlington and Woody, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, as to vagueness.
Overruled.
Man, please don't.
Sorry,
object.
I didn't hear your answer.
Yes.
Relax.
Yes, the play was cooked up between Garlington and Woody?
Woody put Garlington in it. It was something Woody had.
Something Woody had. And Woody came up with that play in order to take attention away from him.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Yeah, he's not Lil Woody. He doesn't know. He can't.
You don't
do
have
that.
to answer that question.
Good morning, Casper.
But that was a scheme between them to come up with the story that you would use, correct? They planted that story with
Objection, Your
you.
Honor, asked and answered.
Sustained.
The story that they came up with, that they told you, that Garlington relayed to you, was about Shannon and Yak and Duop and Nard being involved in Nutt's murder.
It was, I don't remember all the detail, but it had something to do with them, y'all.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
I don't
that.
remember all the detail, but it had something to do with it.
It had something to do with that, with the murder of
Yeah.
Peanut, with the murder of Donovan Thomas. Okay. And that story was intended to cover up Woody's involvement in that murder.
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Did Garlington tell you why he was coming up with that story?
Why Woody was coming up with it?
Yeah.
He's just like, Woody got him in some bullshit.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustained.
Come on, Weinstein.
Well, Woody has been named, Your Honor, as an unindicted co-conspirator. It's a statement of a co-conspirator.
Your Honor, first of all, Your Honor, this is a whole, he's asking about Garlington. He's not asking about Woody. And if this is a matter that needs to be talked about, I don't think it's proper to do it in front of the jury.
Your question was about Garlington.
Yes. Okay.
Wave lawyer's ready for me to hit the button.
Okay. So the story you got from Garlington, that's the story that you ended up relaying to law enforcement, to Gaither and Dennis in
Objection.
2015.
Asked and answered.
Sustained.
What?
You've been asked
He's getting frustrated
repeatedly by the attorney for the state, by Ms. Love, how various lies that you told benefited you. You remember her asking you that just now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're sitting over here right now instead of over there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ooh.
Do you think that that's a benefit to
Your
you?
Honor, objection.
Do you view that as a benefit?
Hang on.
Okay,
hang
I'm
on.
asking him if he views
I
that
know,
as
and
a
there's an
benefit.
objection on the floor, which I haven't been able to hear yet. So wait and let me hear
My
it. and
apologies,
move
Your
on.
Honor.
Mr. Weinstein's
So
getting
objection
frustrated.
as to misrepresentation, vagueness, when the question is, do you think it's a benefit to you that you're over there and not here, as it relates to the interview in 2015 and 2017?
She's gonna sustain.
I would
that.
ask
She's
for
got
clarification about what it is that he was getting a benefit from.
Overruled.
that. Oh wow.
Okay. I'll repeat that question to you. Do you view it as a benefit to you that those lies that you told in 2015 and 2017 put you in that witness stand instead of over there as a defendant?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
He's asking
I
the same
ain't
question.
benefit off none of it.
You didn't benefit off any of it? You'd rather be over there?
Objection,
no
Your Honor,
difference.
improper.
Sustained.
Dang, Mr. Weinstein.
Are you a defendant in this case?
Objection, relevance.
It's directly relevant to his motivation. Are you a defendant in this case?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Dang, Mr. Weinstein. What happened to nice Doug Weinstein? They done cloned Doug. Ooh-wee. I haven't seen Doug Weinstein that feisty this entire trial. Yeah, he's about sick of it, man. I've never seen him that aggressive this whole time. I mean, he went at our guy Lil D over there. What is Amy saying? Hold on, where'd she go? Amy says, I've been thinking about this and please let me know if I'm reaching. Most alleged gangs have beef or they don't associate with the gang that they are not affiliated with, right? Correct. I'm sure that there is more than a couple of gangs in Atlanta, right? Correct. The state is only focusing on 2 alleged gangs. Correct. They mentioned If Gang. They mentioned several other gangs that had issues. Yeah. She says also no one that I know from YSL, the label, or alleged gang had dreads at the time of the state's accusations. However, Detective Gaithers had dreads and is the common thread in this whole trial. What do y'all think? Interesting. Very interesting. All right, here's what I think, Amy. And I know I've said this before. We've talked about this several times. This entire trial has a deeper purpose and meaning than I think we'll probably know unless you get to hear all the stories and things that taken place and all the conversations that Woody actually had and that went on between him and Young Thug. Unless you're in the inner circle of this, we're not gonna know what's actually going on here. But we do know there's a lot of circumstantial events that took place. Most importantly, the district attorney having a relationship with the gentleman that was murdered with Donovan Thomas. I mean, that alone lets you know that this is not a clean, this could never be a clean indictment. This could never be a clean trial. There's just too much involved. So I don't think it's as cut and dry. And I'm with you on exactly what you're saying. There's so many gangs they could have gone after. There's so many gangs that have done more harm to the community than the alleged YSL gang, which is really just a record label and a bunch of guys who do bad things that recorded music from time to time. So it's a mess, and I don't think we'll ever really know the truth, but we all know one thing, that this RICO indictment on Young Thug is total BS. Shout out to Ricardo Harris said, I see why you cut it off yesterday. I majorly rage quit yesterday when Miss Love was just talking and talking and talking. And that's probably why Weinstein was so upset. It was late in the day. He's tired of this lady just sitting up there taking the whole court's time. It's crazy.
All right.
Did you give it to her?
We got Brian Steele back up there. Doug Weinstein's about to fight. Oh, man. Doug Weinstein was not happy.
Very briefly, you were asked about what I call the rodeo tour, but I'm talking about March, April 2015.
Yes.
Okay. Travis Scott and Jeffrey Williams, or Young Thug, are performing, right?
Yes.
You were asked if Jeffrey was the headliner or was not the headliner. You remember that?
Yes.
Headliner means what? Tell the jurors.
I don't know. Probably, I think like the main, I don't know. I think like the main person or something.
Is it fair to say that Jeffrey or Young Thug by this time is a big attraction in music?
Objection asked, answered, and relevance.
Came up on recross.
I know, but given the objection sustained.
When you were there, if you saw the crowd, did Jeffrey and Travis Scott play together? That's my question.
Say that again.
Yeah, when you saw the crowds at the rodeo tour, did Jeffrey and Travis Scott perform together?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
I think, okay, that's fine. All right. You said, you were asked specifically, did Jeffrey buy clothing for a lot of people. Do you remember that question on recross examination?
Yes.
All right.
It's alleged that Fannie Willis and Donovan Thomas were in a relationship at one point. Allegedly. Amy says, maybe off topic, but every time I tune into the case, I ask myself, what was Fannie thinking in bringing this case to trial with no forensics and no credible witnesses to any of the crimes? What was she thinking in putting DA Love in charge of it? Well, you got to remember, Amy, she didn't. This is the B team we're looking at, because the original district attorneys or assistant district attorneys that were supposed to be on this trial quit. They said, oh, I like my reputation. We ain't doing this. Was it the time thing she was thinking? Was it the same thing she was thinking when she hired her married boyfriend to try a case against an ex-president and think no one would find out? Is the Madam DA mental or some kind of political plant? I'm really bewildered by Fulton County. Yeah. Do y'all know? A lot of people don't know this, but Fannie Willis actually went to the White House and met with Kamala Harris shortly before everything went down with Donald Trump here in Fulton County. So it's interesting that you say a political plant. Again, are we ever going to know what's really happening? Probably not, but I think it's pretty easy to put the pieces together. I mean, who invites the district attorney to the White House? How many times has that happened? And not only that, but then shortly after that, Donald Trump gets indicted. Do with that what you will. Let's see what Brian
is it true? A lot of people. Do you remember that question on recross examination?
Yes.
All right. Is it true that Jeffrey did buy clothing for people at the Cleveland Avenue park?
I told you, like, that was like, it wasn't that new. Like, everybody about, like, yeah.
Okay. And were you aware that Jeffrey did clothing drives all over the country?
Objection, relevance.
It came up on cross.
Yeah, you can't do
mean
that,
it's
Brian.
relevant.
Come on.
You were asked, and it was worded this way, that Jeffrey stopped hanging around with Woody. Remember those questions on recross?
Yes.
She did. Fannie Willis was up at the White House.
From your
with Kamala
vantage
Harris.
point, were people always trying to be around Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Objection, Your Honor. Vague and speculation. He can't.
Overruled.
Did Jeffrey allow people to take pictures with him
Objection, relevance.
when they
Sustained.
Come on, Brian.
did? From your vantage point, did Mr. Copeland or Woody, did Jeffrey go to him in any way, or was Mr. Copeland trying to hang out with Jeffrey?
Objection, relevance beyond the scope of redirect.
It was on redirect.
Overruled.
Yeah, Copeland used to come around now.
Okay. You were asked again on redirect about a supposed tweet of, and I'm not quoting it, but something like, we shoot at them and don't report, they shoot at us and report. I'm not saying that's a quote. Have you ever seen a tweet like that?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered on cross.
That wasn't my question.
All right.
Sean P wants me to tell y'all that Fannie didn't go up there alone. She might have went with the governor or the mayor or something. I believe it was the mayor, but Sean, I'm sure you'll remind me. I think it was. I'm trying to remember. Remind me, Sean. Yeah, Fannie Willis did not go alone, by the way. That's true.
Tweet like that?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered on cross.
That wasn't my question.
All right. Mr. Short, have you made a decision?
No, Nathan didn't
Do
go
you have
with her.
any recross? All right. You are now free to go.
And cut this on my leg.
Yes. They'll take care of that.
All right, shout out
Call your next witness.
Mr. Zachary got up out of there. I think he did good.
Okay?
No, she went with somebody. Let me see. I'm going to tell you who it was right now. I think it was the mayor of Atlanta that she went with.
Sure.
Let me see if I can find it.
Do y'all need a bathroom break before we start the next witness? Yes, no? Is it? Okay. A couple. We're actually going to have you step back out. We're going to take a quick recess. Thank you.
I was right. Hey, Sean. It was Andre Dickens that went with her. February of last year, Fannie Willis went to the White House to visit Kamala Harris. And guess who went with her? The mayor of Atlanta. So, Amy, I don't know. Amy, I think you knew that, though. But if you didn't know that, there's some more Fannie Willis ammo for you. And I don't want to, dang, man, I don't want to say too much. But you see with someone like Diddy, right? Where they've been put into a position and everyone thinks, how could this person be put in this position? How could they be doing this? How could they commit all these heinous crimes? How could they be acting like this? And in most cases, it's not just their own ego or their own internal struggle with power. A lot of the times, people like this, like a Fannie Willis, like a Tiffany Henyard, like a Diddy, are being empowered by someone else. Or there are other people who are trying to use them to get certain things done, to make certain things happen, to find out information about other people. And we've just seen this throughout history. This is just a fact. So whatever those entities are, I'm going to leave that up to y'all speculation. But when you see some of the pieces of the puzzle and put things together, you realize that there's a lot more to a RICO case like this, or a case against Donald Trump, or even what's going on with Diddy, than we'll probably ever know. So, or blackmail, says Wave Lori. Yeah. If Trump gets in office, he's gonna lock her ass. Tammy said yes, it's called the devil. Because Diddy's been having conversations with the FBI for years, maybe even decades. And so when you have those type of conversations, when you're connected to those type of people, you just have a different sense of, it's almost like when you're younger and you feel invincible, you go out and you do stupid stuff and you run around. It's like that type of feeling, but 10x, because you're a grown adult and you feel like you can do whatever you want to. But a lot of this is speculation and hearsay. What's not speculation and hearsay is that Fannie Willis visited the White House in February with Mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens. So let that sink in.
Good afternoon. You can take a seat if you want to. Well, actually, just stand and then once. Okay.
Hey, listen, y'all. If I disappear, I love my life. I never want to harm myself. I would never harm myself. All right. So yeah, my life is great. I love my family. I love everybody here. And I'm just going to say that out loud.
Yeah, let's do that in front of the jury.
Okay.
Yes, and I did not self-delete. I will not be jumping off of any cliffs.
I mean, 5 or 5:30 depends where, we are with witnesses.
ClassE disappears. Diddy got him. Oh, no.
Hey, yo.
How long do you think this witness will be?
I expect about an hour, Your Honor.
Okay, and then do we have another witness who's, what's the next witness up?
Yeah, there you go, buddy. I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. He said the power of the tongue. I love my life.
Okay. So maybe just these two, maybe one more, I don't know.
I think this
Y'all's
is,
time estimates are not always spot on.
I think this is the cell phone expert.
I mean, I don't know who she said, but I'm just talking about how many more witnesses there'll be for today. Sounds like this, at least one other, maybe one other after that, but that seems like about it.
And that's right, Amy. Amy said if I disappear, it's because I'm on a tropical island in a bikini drinking alkaline water. That's right.
I don't either.
Same here. Bikini and all.
Hey, yo.
Rice Street's in the building. This the T-Mobile guy. Yeah. It's the T-Mobile product specialist in here. Jamila says ClassE Beats, it was the mayor she went with to meet Kamala. Was just reading the article. Yep. Oh man. Let's go ahead and skip forward so we can get this guy on the stand and see what he's talking about. Y'all laugh. I would kill a bikini. All right, I'm gonna let it go. Are we not gonna start?
Oh, yes.
Here we go. This looks like a fine, astute gentleman. Oh, John said he's out of here. John said, I can't do the cell phone expert again. Please be safe this weekend. I'll see you on Monday. All right, peace, John. Hey, if it's bad, John, we got other things we can cover.
Your Honor, may the witness be sworn in?
Yes. Although not yet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. You swear to further testimony you're about to get according to the truth, all from nothing but the truth, of God.
Yes, I will.
You may be seated. Please state your first and last name with a spelling of both, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Ricardo Leal. It's Ricardo. First name spelled Leal.
Good afternoon, Mr. Leal. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you tell the jury where you work?
Yes, so I work for T-Mobile Corporation, which is a mobile phone carrier.
How long have you been with T-Mobile?
So I started with T-Mobile back in April of 2020.
Okay. Let's skip through.
There was a merger that transpired on that date. Prior to that, I worked for Sprint Corporation, which was another telephone company. And so I worked with them, basically started with them in 2002.
Was the merger between Sprint and T-Mobile?
Yes.
What do you do for T-Mobile?
So I serve as a records custodian when subpoenaed. My job title is testifier. So basically, I authenticate records, explain records, how they're kept, in the normal course of business, do a lot of reviewing records, those types of things.
How many trials have you testified in?
So I've testified in over 450 in my tenure. I've been doing this part of my job for quite some time.
Do you travel across the country, or do you have a specific region that you cover?
All throughout the United States and other places as well.
So what did you do, let me take a step back, before you began working with Sprint, before it merged with T-Mobile?
So when I worked at Sprint, I would have been an analyst, essentially. Subpoena analyst is what they called it. So my job function was to review legal demands, verify that legal demand, then send out the information that is being asked for through legal process. However, the requester was asking for it. So essentially, that's what I was doing for a number of years. And then I headed up a team that was an immediate response group, that they could get their information sooner by paying a fee. And then I transitioned into the job that I'm currently doing. But at the time, it was with Sprint.
And would subpoenas from law enforcement agencies be one of the requests that you would review when you were an analyst?
Correct. That would be one of the formats. So subpoena, search warrant, court order, search warrant having the most available. They would be able to get the most information with the judge's signature. That's kind of how that process works.
What type of documents did you get familiar with as an analyst responding to those legal requests?
So mainly was call records pertaining to subscriber information, the call detail records, which is the network information that could have other information like cell tower information, billing records. That's the main things that were being asked for, and still to this day. There are some other records that we have as well, but those are the main things. Later on, as the progression became more prevalent, text information was being asked for, data, because your phones became user-friendly to be used for search engines, those types of things, for data. So those were often asked for too.
Interesting.
Can you differentiate the call detail records from the other records you've described for the jury?
Sure, absolutely.
How would you describe or differentiate them?
So the call records would show the calls that were taking place. It will have the different numbers. It will also depend on what type of call record. It will show duration time. It'll have dates. Also tower information, if that was asked for, that information would be within the record. Also, on the format, when we send the information out, it shows what is being asked for through legal process. Like, it gives exact accounts of the information.
Y'all are saying it's that bad.
Now, in working with Sprint, was it through experience or training that you became familiar with these records and what they contain?
We'll give them some time.
So it was on the job training. And over time, I would be answering questions with whoever was asking for the information. So it took a lot of me trying to get understanding of what I was looking at. And then over time, I had to learn the T-Mobile records as well, which was more of a formal training versus how I started at Sprint. It was a different time, back in 2002. But yeah, quite a big difference between 2002 and 2020.
Fair enough. Can you describe for the jury what training you had to get familiar coming from Sprint with T-Mobile records?
So there was a training that happened. It was during COVID. Basically, it was several days of going through the formats of how the records are kept at T-Mobile and the information that T-Mobile carries and how their information is kept in comparison to how the information is kept at Sprint. So there was kind of like a dual training going on where the T-Mobile folks were filling us in on their info and we were doing the same to them with the Sprint information, because two different networks, information being kept, all similar processes and everything, but the content was in different formats and it was kept differently according to time.
Now, you had mentioned subscriber information as documents.
Okay, y'all are out there. All right. Mr. Brown said, I don't see how you do it. Okay, what we'll do is we have some breaking news, and this is brought to you by Amy. Y'all give it up for Amy in here. So check this out. And I wish I had the clip queued up for what it was brought up. But as you might remember, it wasn't yesterday. It was on Tuesday. Miss Love and her alleged prosecutorial misconduct was mentioned by Doug Weinstein. All right, and y'all are saying my volume's still low? For real? Oh, God. All right, hold on. So anyway, he brought that up, and a lot of people say, what in the world is going on with that? Miss Love is having an issue with prosecutorial misconduct. Well, check this out, and we're going to see what's going on here. So this is prosecutor misconduct, and here's the number here. And who is it? Who's about to get in trouble? Oh, Lord. Fulton County District Attorney's Office, Adrian Love. Uh-oh. Here we go. So what is going? There's no date provided for the offense. And then what are the offense or offenses in this case? Attorney misconduct. We'll see what that means in a second. Cooperative misconduct, failure to disclose Brady/Giglio material, which we've seen several times before. Reporting authority. This complaint has been forwarded to the State Bar of Georgia. All right. And we've got some supporting documents here we're going to go into. And the person who filed this, what did they say? While Whitaker is allowing the 20-month trial to move forward, she also admonished prosecutors taking the rare step of ordering them to watch a training video on the importance of sharing evidence with the defense attorneys and other professional obligations. All right. So they have a couple of supporting documents here we're going to go into. This first one is from the Atlanta. Hold on a second. Is this the right one? Yeah, Joseph did this one too. Okay, this is the Atlanta Journal. Let me make sure I get this so y'all can see it. And this is talking about some of the issues they had and what actually went down in this situation, just to give you guys a little bit of a refresher. All right. So judge denies mistrial in Young Thug's case, but rebukes prosecutors. Prosecutors instructed to watch training video. So this is going to break everything down. Let's get started here. And if y'all don't follow Joseph Papp over on X, you definitely should. He gives a lot of updates on the YSL trial and does a good job covering everything that's going on because he is actually in the courtroom. All right. The gang and racketeering trial of Atlanta rapper Young Thug and 5 others will continue after Fulton County Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker denied the last remaining request from the defense attorney seeking mistrial. And we went through those ad nauseum, right, back in the day. While Whitaker is allowing the 20-month trial to move forward, she also admonished prosecutors taking the rare steps of ordering them to watch a training video on the importance of sharing evidence with the defense attorneys and other professional obligations. Several Atlanta attorneys and former prosecutors said Friday that they've never seen a judge mandate a training video and that they would be mortified by such a remedy. Yeah, we were calling for a mistrial too, which is crazy, but we'll see what happens here. I think that's excuse me. I think that's unprecedented in the state of Georgia, said trial and appellate attorney Andrew Fleischman. Hopefully I said that right. Who has closely monitored this case. It is very embarrassing, and it does indicate that the state is just not following its Brady obligations. Brady violations occur when prosecutors fail to turn over evidence that could be helpful to a defendant's case, which we've seen over and over and over and over. Leader of Young Slime Life, which prosecutor alleged is a criminal street gang based in South Atlanta, responsible for drug deals, robberies, and at least 3 killings. Williams' attorneys deny the charges and maintain that YSL is simply the name of the Star record label. The trial has become the longest in Georgia's history. Defense attorneys in this case have complained for nearly 2 years that prosecutors are intentionally withholding discovery evidence required to be turned over before the start of the trial. Whitaker said she will provide the training video for the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia and that the viewing would occur under her direction. Yeah, right.
Stop the cap.
Y'all think that really happened? I don't. A spokesman for Fulton County District Attorney's Office declined to comment on the judge's ruling. Former DeKalb District Attorney Robert James said, as a prosecutor, the disclosure of Brady material is not something to play with. Brady is one of those things that's sacrosanct, James said, just like Judge Glanville's chambers, right? If you have it, turn it over. It's not that complicated. Former DeKalb DA J. Tom Morgan, who teaches undergraduate students at West Carolina University, said it's ultimately the DA's job to educate their prosecutors about the importance of turning over such material. He said that as a former prosecutor, Whitaker might be a little perturbed and may be trying to ensure that if there is a conviction, it won't be overturned on appeal. We talked about this. She's protecting her reputation. Judge Whitaker, and by she, I mean Judge Whitaker, she has some aspirations she wants to reach. I know a lot of y'all have mentioned that she may be trying to get into the Supreme Court. I haven't found anything verified on that, but she's made it clear that she wants to follow everything to the letter and she wants to see this trial through so there aren't any issues and it doesn't look bad on her. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Never been truthful. At issue in recent mistrial motions were remarks the state's star witness Kenneth Copeland made during a secret ex parte meeting June 10th with his attorney, then presiding, or the predecessor judge, as Brian Steele likes to call him, the predecessor judge, Earl Glanville, and prosecutors, and about 9 other people. During this meeting, Copeland said, "I have never been truthful a day in my life." He said, "God's honest truth, I'm a liar." According to the transcript, it was information defense attorneys found out about only after seeking Glanville's removal from this case. Whitaker acknowledged that as the prosecution's key witness, Lil Woody's statement would have been helpful to the defense. Which frustrated a lot of us even more, because if that's the case, then this should have been a mistrial just based off of that, right? You just stop right there. If they should have given the information, get rid of the case. Whitaker acknowledged that as the prosecution's key witness, Copeland's statement would have been helpful to the defense, and they should have been in that ex parte meeting, should have been a mistrial, whatever. Copeland may have little credibility. He may speak in hyperbole, Whitaker wrote, but the facts remain that for a defense attorney, this nugget by a key state's witness is gold. Jeez. This amounted to suppression, whether willful or otherwise, of what was objectively Brady impeachment material, Whitaker wrote. She said the lapse was likely inadvertent or part of the state, and she does not attribute bad faith to anyone on this issue. and we went through and we're going to review this motion where she said, yeah, okay, they messed up, but I don't think they did it on purpose. How she would know that, I don't know. I mean, can't we just look and see the actions that happen and then move forward and make a decision from there, Judge Whitaker? Why is this trial still going on? I don't know. This does not appear to the court to have been a purposeful violation, Whitaker wrote, but rather a negligent overlooking of the impeachment value of Copeland's in-chamber statement. So it sounds like they just threw Glanville under the bus so there wouldn't be a mistrial to me, honestly. So they're like, yeah, they did something wrong. This was a bad idea. You should have had the defense there so they could ask questions, do what they need to do. So Judge Krause got Glanville off the trial. Let's move forward and not worry about what Hilton and Love did. But the fact that a violation of a defendant's constitutional rights has been averted does not, under these circumstances, provide cause for celebration, she wrote. Instead, she said it is cause for sober reflection and an examination of processes, procedures, and approaches that allowed this to occur. Jeez. Attorney Doug Weinstein, who sought a mistrial on behalf of his client, DeMonte Kendrick, said they were disappointed with Judge Whitaker's ruling. Although Glanville's removal from the case might make it for fair proceedings going forward, Weinstein said it does not remedy the last 19 months of due process violations. And then you remember Bruce Harvey kind of said the same thing, but in a different way. Bruce Harvey filed a motion, basically said, Judge Whitaker, we've got 19 plus months of this trial that you're not going to have context on. You're not going to be able to see what the state was doing, how they were moving throughout this trial, and how things have happened over and over and over. You had Westmoreland standing up and say, Judge Whitaker, these issues that you're having, we've been dealing with these for over 2 years. Just end this thing. Judge Whitaker said, nah, this is my trial now. We're going to dust things off. We'll clean it up and try and move forward. Oh, man. The damage done by Judge Glanville and the state has infected the entire body of this trial. An emergency amputation of the judge can't save it, Weinstein said. That sounds like something he would say. Judge Glanville was ultimately removed from this case in July after defense attorneys questioned the June 10th ex parte meeting and called for recusal. Weinstein is seeking an order to allow him to immediately appeal Whitaker's ruling. Whitaker also again rejected calls to remove Chief Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love and Deputy DA Simone Hilton from the case, but warned that any further failure to abide by the rules of professional conduct or lack of candor of the court may trigger the extreme sanction or removal of this case.
Stop the cap.
Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. And shout out to Joseph Papp for writing that amazing article. We also have a couple of these motions that we just referenced and were referenced in that article as well. This was the first one. This is the additional motion to disqualify lawyers Love and Hilton. Of course, this was filed by Brian Steele. Y'all remember we went through this one. I'm not going to go back through that one. And then this is the second page and then the third page. And there was one point in here that I wanted to read. What page is it on? Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Let's go to number 6 here. When the state was attempting to... Let's go back. Lawyer Love's allegations against undersigned counsel to the prior court were proven beyond any doubt to be totally, knowingly false. And then it says, over Mr. Williams' objection, when the state was attempting to introduce a January 26, 2015 social media posting from co-indictee Garlington's account during the testimony of Detective Gaither, Lawyer Love told the prior court that only Mr. Williams' voice could be heard on this video/audio, except for the one voice saying yeah in the background. Undersigned counsel told the prior court, or the predecessor judge, as he likes to put it, that Lawyer Love was incorrect and that several persons' voices were audible on the social media posting. Lawyer Love falsely accused undersigned counsel of misrepresenting facts to the prior court. Of course, Lawyer Love has proven to be the person who was untruthful and was again falsely accusing undersigned counsel of wrongdoing. This pattern of prosecutorial misconduct illustrates the enormity of unethical conduct of Lawyer Love and the state of Georgia in this case. So what do y'all think, if anything's going to happen from this? Because these are some serious accusations. They already tried to go through the proper process, as you see from this motion filed by Jeffrey Williams, aka Brian Steele, that they wanted to get Miss Love out of here, and rightfully so. I mean, there's been so many missteps. Judge Glanville was letting them do whatever they wanted to while he was on the stand, and nothing happened. Judge Whitaker, she seems to be a little bit more, what's the word? She seems to have less patience when it comes to letting Miss Hilton and Love do what they want. And honestly, Miss Hilton hasn't been trying anything. She's been very subdued, but Miss Love, it's going back and forth, has been a big issue. So let me know what y'all think in the comments in the chat, if anything is going to happen from this. And I guess we're waiting to hear from the state bar on whether they're going to hold Miss Love accountable. Shout out to everybody who's still in here too. Thank y'all. We got over 1,000 likes on the video, 1,700 of y'all in the building. We are going to do another live stream in about an hour or two. Some of y'all might know that I've been covering this Young Dolph trial that has been going off. Way more interesting than what's been happening with YSL right now. And it's actually moving very quick. They're in trial today right now, but we're going to go back and look at day 3. And we're going to cover some of the things that happened there, because it seems like every day there's been some more updates and some more testimony that are coming out about what happened with Young Dolph. So we're going to have that live stream at, we'll probably do 12:30. I think I scheduled it for 12:45, but I think we'll do 12:30. So I'm going to read a couple of super chats and then I will probably get y'all up out of here. Shout out to Kristen Vasquez in the building. She gifted a membership. If you got that membership from her, make sure you say thank you. Also, Full Drink and a Half Thinking in the building gifted 5 memberships. Oh my gosh. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And if you got a membership from him, make sure you say thank you as well. One of the great benefits of being a member is you guys get instant access to any video that we drop here on the Classy Beats YouTube channel. So make sure you go check out some of the members only content over there once you get your membership. And you also have some custom emojis you get to use in the chat, along with some other benefits as well. Full Drink and a Half Thinking dropped the 25 bomb as well. Appreciate you, man. He says, stay the course, brother. Amazing work. Super professional. Hey, we don't quit, man. We don't quit. No days off around here. Shout out to Touche dropping the 5 bomb. Says, have some time this morning, just dropping in to support. Appreciate you, Touche. But now shaking my head because Love is even more of a mess. Hearing this the second time, out of control. I don't think she knows how to do anything else, to be honest. Elizabeth Wright dropped the 5 bomb with the super sticker, laughing at Ms. Love over there. And then Lavisa dropped the 99-cent super sticker. Says she's about to go to sleep on that guy up there talking about T-Mobile. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Amy is also, so, man, I don't know what the future of this channel is. And I think we've been experimenting a lot this year, especially kind of figuring out where things are going. But I'm really enjoying covering these legal trials and a lot of the cases that are going on, not only in the community, but what's been happening with Fonnie Willis's Senate hearing. So we might have to go a different direction, because Amy just mentioned in the chat, a grand jury in Manhattan has indicted New York Mayor Eric Adams on federal criminal charges. Man, I might have to start a second channel just covering some of this stuff, because blame it on Cat Williams, not Williams, but Cat Williams, the Cat Williams, because he opened up the portal, and ever since then, 2024 has been absolutely insane. So we might cover that at some point. I think it's y'all put on your tinfoil hats for a second. I did a video on this 3-4 months ago. Eric Adams was the one that was not only somewhat close to Diddy, but he actually gave Diddy a key to the city. He gave Diddy a key to the city. That needs to be anyway. again, you guys want to connect the pieces, you can do that on your own. I'm just going to let you know the information. Eric Adams was the one who gave Diddy the key to the city. And then later, I think it was probably 2 months ago, he said, oh no, Diddy, we got to take it back, because the video of Diddy and Cassie in the hotel came out and Eric Adams was trying to save face. And even back then I said, man, Eric Adams, stop pretending like you're innocent. We know that you were close to this man. You knew a lot of things that were going on as well. And it's funny that now a grand jury has indicted him on criminal charges. I don't believe there are coincidences. I think everything happens for a reason. New York is looking very closely into what's happening with Diddy. A lot of these videos are coming out and it's being made known that there were people who were involved with things behind the scenes. Is it crazy to believe maybe Eric Adams got looked at during this entire process? I don't think so. But I think I think that might be another conversation for another day. All right. We're going to cover Young Dolph here in about an hour. I will see y'all over on that live stream. Once this ends, you'll be directed over there. Make sure you like the video as soon as you get redirected there. And I'll see you guys around 12:30, maybe even earlier. All right. Thank y'all so much. Prayers go out to everybody, Florida, Alabama, South Georgia, Mid Georgia, who's going to be impacted by the hurricane that's coming through here. Y'all be safe. If you need to get out, please get out. Don't wait. Don't stay. Don't hope it's going to be okay. Category 3 hurricane is nothing to play with. I know we're mainly just going to get some flooding here in Atlanta, but it's way better to be safe than sorry. You only get one life. You got to take care of it. All right. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in about an hour. You know what to do. Keep growing. Keep pushing. Keep it classy. We gone. Peace.